I want to show you guys how I went from this boring, plain white room to this beautiful, crispy green. Throughout this video, I will be having it sped up and slowed down because I want you guys to see and realize the true speed of which everything took, because it's not what it seems on YouTube and it's not as simple, although this particular thing was pretty simple. And then of course I let some of the audio play. But this right here is the real true speed of which I took. And the reason I am doing trim first is because you're less likely to mess up and you don't have to worry about getting painter's tape and using the plastic everywhere. Now, of course, if you have furniture and stuff, it is good to still do that to have a safety precaution. But because I didn't feel like doing the most and making this product take long, especially because we just moved into this house, I decided to just go ahead and trim everything up and then use the paint roller. And again, by doing it this way, you're less likely to have to use painter's tape. And as you can see here, like if you're taking your time, you're not going to spill anything. Although in some spots you're going to see I did mess up. Now, the reason I left that clip in is so you can see the speed of which I am rolling it and about how much paint is left on. And also, as you can see here, I'm not hitting the trim because as I'm rolling with the roller, I'm just reaching just low enough to touch the trim where there's fresh paint. And this is the true speed. I did mess up right there, but this is the true speed of which I was rolling the brush. But again, by trimming everything out, as you can see with me going back on this as well, it helps you to be able to not get too close to mess it up. And whenever you do a second coat, you could either do a second coat of trim or just a second coat on the wall. A very slow process, and forgive those kids screaming outside. But yeah, so you want to trim every single thing in your room except for the exterior corner that's to the right there. The corner that's sticking out is not really necessary. And the reason I'm doing that little swoop outwards is because it's the remainder of the paint. I don't want to leave a clump on there that's likely to start dripping or whatever. See, it's a very slow process. And if you pay attention to my hand position, I am holding this roller very lightly, very loosely. You don't want to apply too much pressure. You want to just enough to get the paint onto the wall. And you don't want it soaked with paint either. You want to take your time right here. So overall, this was very satisfying. I believe I could have done this in one day. However, it did take me 2 days because I procrastinate. And right here, I made a mistake. I was rushing, getting a little too comfortable. So again, take your time. But as you can see, I didn't touch anywhere else. So I jump over to this side and I'm probably just going to play some music here and let you guys watch. I'm not monetized, so I can play whatever I want. Hopefully the music isn't too bad or disruptive. If it is, please let me know. But again, I'm just trimming everything and then rolling it. I just wanted you guys to see the full process. As far as this goes, all I did was wash this with Dawn dish soap and warm water. This one pretty much dried all the way because I was flinging it outside. I want to show y'all how it kind of looks without a second coat. Now I'm hoping that the second coat gets it done. This is my very first time painting. But you guys are on the charger, so I can't go too far. I'm doing a little bit of talking in these videos because I'm not sure if I want to do a voiceover or not, but I saw a video. Whenever you're putting on a new one of these things, to wrap painter's tape around it to try to get the fluff off. I don't have any fluff on my walls, so I'm assuming it worked. I don't know if it would have worked without it, but you know, I like to say better safe than sorry is one of my favorite sayings. So if it didn't work, oh well. If it did work, awesome. So once I got to this side of the wall, my wife came home from work and she decided to help me. So that was great. And it is so much easier with an extra set of hands because what you want to do is trim out the wall first. So as you're rolling, you can roll onto the freshly wet paint on the trim to help you get that nice finish. And it's hard to do that when you are by yourself. So if there's help, definitely get help. It helps to have a camera person. As you can see, or as you saw in that small clip there, it is an identical paint match. And again, this is day 2, and it wasn't the very next day. I think this was actually like 2 or 3 days later. And I went ahead and just got started right on it again. I first filled in all the blank spots that was left in the room. And then after I did that, I went ahead and put a second coat on everything that I had already painted. But I did not put a second coat of trim down because I just felt that it wasn't really necessary because I can't see it. Now, if you were to come in and look in person, you would definitely be able to tell that I did not put a second coat of trim if you're like looking at it closely and inspecting the walls. But when you just walk in the room and kind of look around, you actually can't tell at all. So this is me putting on that second coat. But I'm liking how it's coming out, except I don't know how to get rid of some of these lines. And then the wall over here is uneven. It's concave right here. So I can't evenly coat this, so it's very hard. So this is gonna have some harsh lines. I already know that's something I can't really change. But on this side, I can change it. I just don't know how to. Y'all probably were already getting ready to type it in the comment section, but I just realized that it is smooth after it dries. So if you are new to painting or you haven't painted before, if you see the lines in the wall and that you don't see on YouTube, that is okay. After the second coat, once it dries, I think it dries flat. Because look at this now. Completely smooth. Even over here, I think maybe there's some small lines. Completely smooth after the second coat dried. So the reason why we were able to see, and this is sunlight, not sections I didn't cover, but yeah, everything is completely smooth. Again, this is sunlight, so smooth, and I don't even think it's fully dry yet. And as you can see, I put the wall mounts back on. I did get some from Amazon, so I actually will be changing that shortly. But I put them back on. Very, very happy with the way this came out. This is amazing. So you can do it yourself. All you need is a paint roller, obviously the paint base, whatever. You need your paint. You need a brush just to go ahead and trim the edges. A towel just to quickly wipe whatever mess you might have. Like I had a few that was like here. If I would have wiped that soon enough, it wouldn't have stuck on there, but I didn't even realize that. Get you some paint sticks to stir it up just in case your paint clumps together. This mini roller brush was trash, so I would stick with the big soft roller brush. Get small bristle brush. I will say this was the cheap one. The one that I used the other day was a little bit more expensive. Definitely worth getting the more expensive one. All I used was this one cardboard box to hold my stuff. Now I do wish I had a bigger area, so maybe get a big plastic bag or something to make it a little bit easier. And then another thing I will recommend, which was very unintentional, but I used a Lowe's bag to kneel on because you might accidentally get paint on your knees somehow. And when you kneel onto the ground, you don't want to get paint on your carpet. Now, luckily, I noticed that in this section over here, you can't even tell. Somewhere over here, I kneeled down and there was a little splotch of paint. And I used this towel and some all-purpose spray, and I immediately sprayed it, cleaned it up, so that did not remain. But if I would have missed it, that would have been probably a permanent stain. And then I think I showed in the beginning of the video that these paint drips are not from me. So I could have sanded all of that down and had a smoother finish all around. But with this being my first paint job and a new house, I just figured I just wanted to get some paint supplies, repaint the room. So what I'm thinking is I want the black leather, dark leather. So I might cover this table, this desk, with this leather that I got from Hobby Lobby a few years ago. And here's the finished product. I think I will change out the baseboards as well, but as you can see, I did change the wall outlet covers and it looks very nice.